Hello, welcome, or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 1-4 Human Design Profile, the Investigator Opportunist. If you don't know your Human Design Profile, there is a link in the description for you to get your Human Design Body Graph, and your profile will be one of the bits of information listed on there about you. You don't have to know a single thing about human design. My intention with these videos is not necessarily to be educational, but, not every 1-4 is an Aries or an Aquarius, so sorry, I should have, I never know if this is, super duper loud or not, but yeah, I try not to use a ton of human design language just so the message doesn't get lost, but my intention is for these videos to be just an additional avenue to receive a message. So let's see what the energy is for our 1-4 baddies. I only take the cards that actually come out of the deck. I don't take the cards that flip in the deck like that, because we want commitment over here. And if they flip in the deck, I just don't take them seriously. Okay, interesting. I believe that all of these are going to be in the reverse. Let's see. Yeah, Death in the reverse, 9 of Pentacles. So we have the 4 of Pentacles, Death, and the 9 of Pentacles. And all of these came out in the reverse. I'm like, let me just make sure that I wasn't shuffling the deck upside down, because if I was, we'd redo it. Let me also make sure everything is in frame. It is. I feel like the lighting's weird. I apologize. I think it's because literally the sun being where it is, it's also overcast outside and all of the things. So, okay. I don't even shuffle reversals into my decks. I think it's like an OCD thing. I can't handle cards going 2 different directions. But of course, if they come out in the reverse, we honor that. So the 4 of Pentacles upright generally talks about holding on too tight. It's the behavior and patterns that lead to lack and scarcity, right? It's like squirreling things away because you're afraid that you're not going to have enough at some point. It's not investing in yourself because, again, you think that in some aspect, some other area of your life, there's going to be lack. And Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our physical energy. How are we investing it? Where are we spending our time? Also, we tend to exchange our time and our energy, our skills, expertise, experience for money, right? So even just making sure that those 2 things are in alignment, our health, our physical body, anything tangible, anything that has a monetary value, anything that you place worth and value on. So with all of that being said, right, with the 4 of Pentacles being in the reverse, it's the opposite of literally everything that I just said. So it may be not budgeting. There may be a lack of discipline. Really just out there kind of YOLOing. There may be even a lack of security or even safety in some aspect. I mean, hopefully it's not physical safety, but just some sort of insecurity where it maybe has to do with your home, with your material possessions, with a car, with your health, with even your job, right? I mean, if you're in the United States, all of those things are being squeezed to absolute death right now. And it is interesting that we do have the death card out here also in the reverse. Death talks about the end of a cycle. It's something ending so that something new can begin. It's also the card of Scorpio. And I mean, Mars is in Scorpio right now. I believe Mercury is going to be going into Scorpio if it hasn't already. I believe that Uranus is in Taurus as well, which is the sister sign to Scorpio. So if you have placements in Scorpio or even Taurus, this would be, I mean, clearly like a cycle not ending. So it's either something that just keeps repeating itself, almost like a nightmare, truly. Or even finding yourself back in a situation, back in a place of scarcity, or even the fear around being in that potential energy. It's almost like, you got to a place where you are working your way away from that. And now we're back. And also with the death card in the reverse, there's something that it's like still being in the middle of it. Unfortunately, it is not over yet. I feel like there is something to be found here. Even too with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, the death card in the reverse. If it is a cycle that you are finding yourself back in, even grounding yourself, because we have obviously like two earth cards out here, even though they're both in the reverse. Just finding your center, because I just got this image of like a plane that's gone into like a tailspin, I think, is that what it's called? And it's literally trying to regain control. I'm not a plane like expert or person or whatever. I think it's like an imagery of, feeling out of control, and also feeling like you don't have a way of regaining control. And two, very much so, like if you find yourself going back towards something, like I was out of it, I felt secure, now I'm back in it and I feel insecure in whatever aspect that is, whether it's, money, health, the amount of time even that you have available to you. The message here feels like just getting grounded, putting your feet on the ground, energetically, literally, taking deep breaths. And part of the reason why I'm saying that too is my attention keeps coming back to, this imagery here with this deer, and hopefully it's not like going to be flagged or whatever. But in this card, and I don't know if we're going to be able to see it on the video, but these are gems. And that's either like ruby or garnet. I don't know which ones they are. Those are the only two red gemstones that I can think of. Garnet is the January birthstone. Ruby is July. So those could be significant. The past July, this January. Also, we know what happened in January too, as far as, that dude being sworn in as president, and has created a lot of insecurity here. Not to kind of go down that tangent, but that happened in January. It could also even be the January coming up, or July coming up next year, 2026. We're about to be going into Scorpio season as well, like at the middle of this month until the middle of November. So there could be a resolution that happens in Scorpio season. But like I said, with these gems inside of this deer here, there is something to be found. It almost even feels like Hanged Man-y, as far as seeing things from a different perspective. If you are finding yourself back in a situation that you didn't expect to find yourself in, or even if it's not back to, but finding yourself in a situation that you didn't expect to find yourself in. Again, I keep hearing grounding in my head. And I think that's also too a message about allowing whatever it is, the message, whatever it is that is coming up for you, and being able to hear that through ego, because ego is fear and doubt and self-sabotage and all of the loud, in your face, metaphorically in your face, noise that you hear, right? And if you can allow yourself to hear what is below that, what is the message that you yourself is trying to give to you? Is it that you're going to be okay? Is it a suggestion on what to do next? We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse as well. And upright, the Nine of Pentacles talks about abundance, success, personal success. It's financial freedom, independence as well. So in the reverse, again, there would be a sense of scarcity or lack. Maybe having to depend on family or a significant other or friends. It could also even just be a delay, because like I said, I was feeling like the Hanged Man come through, and the Nine of Pentacles is still out here. The Death card is still out here. The Four of Pentacles is still out here, right? So there is an opportunity to shift these energies, and that these energies are still showing up. They are still here. It might even just be, working with the energy differently, perceiving something differently. Because again, like I said, the Hanged Man was out here. Give yourself a break too. Like if something isn't actualizing or manifesting in the way that you expected it to, this could also be a message to stick with something. Because if you were the Hanged Man, if you were to see things from a different perspective, because the Hanged Man is literally their whole perspective shifts because they are hanging upside down. Right? So if you were to be the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man talks about suspension, delay, again, seeing things from a different perspective. Truly, because the whole perspective shifted. And also, it's literally like they will be stuck there until they get it, you know? The Hanged Man is connected to Neptune, which I believe is back in Pisces right now. It's in retrograde. And to like Uranus is retrograde. I don't think Mars is. I don't think Mercury is. But, you know, those outer planets, there could be something in here relating to your security, like your financial security, your physical security, whatever, you know, again, just even what your personal worth, how you value your time, your money, yourself. There could be something that's coming back around for you. And especially like with those outer planets, because they will never be in those signs again, I don't think, as long as we live. Like we'd have to live a long time to have a Uranus return. Like I think that's maybe 84 year or 80 something years. Neptune, I don't think that there's, I think it's in a sign for 14 years. So I don't think that Neptune will ever be in Pisces again. Again, you know, Uranus won't be, or Uranus, I know I pronounce it wrong, but Uranus won't be in Taurus again, unless we are lucky to live that long. You know, I think Mars makes its rounds like every 3 years. Of course, Mercury, you know, that travels with the sun pretty much. So, yeah. It also, with all of these being in the reverse and planets being in retrograde, the outer planets going back into signs that they exited for a little while, there could just be something that is coming back around for you to be addressed, released. Let's see what is at the bottom of the deck. And if you're still here, thank you so much. And if you haven't done so already, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it, save it, drop a comment. Those are all free ways to support me and the channel. And please know that I do appreciate you just being here. We have the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the High Priestess. Yeah. I see the 7 of Swords as being the card of us fooling ourselves. It is self-sabotage. It's, you know, Brene Brown calls them gremlins. You know, the stories that cut shame, guilt. Have you watched K-pop Demon Hunters? If you haven't, what? Like, hello. But the demons in that movie, and please, I am not saying that you are being controlled or that you are a demon. Okay, please do not. I would never. I don't even believe in that. This is a movie that I'm talking about. Okay, it's made up. Like I feel like I had to say that. But the demons control people, and they feed off of people's shame. And the K-pop demon hunters combat that with love, literally. So again, if you haven't watched it, highly recommend. I love that movie. I've seriously watched it like 5 times already. I'll probably just go ahead and watch it again today because why not? But yeah, swords have to do with our mind, our belief system, our mindset, logic, intellect, the things that we learn, the things that we know. How are we communicating all of those things? It's truth and honesty, but like divine truth. I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we tend to hear our ego is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to circumstances, experiences, feelings. And it becomes our belief systems, the reasons why we don't do and we do other things. It's the filter that, stimulate, we consume our life. It goes through the filter of our reality or our ego, and then it kicks out a story about our reality, about ourselves. So again, right? I mean, traditionally, the Seven of Swords also talks about manipulation, trickery. In the traditional Seven of Swords, there's a soldier that is like tiptoeing out of the enemy camp carrying 7 swords. And that is manipulating the odds. They're literally stealing 7 swords so that 7 soldiers will be down 7 swords, right? So that they have the upper hand, manipulating the outcome, manipulating the odds, handicapping, other people. And this could be somebody around you. This could be an energy that's around you. This could be what you're doing to yourself. There's this white picket fence here. There's these 6 swords that are, rooted into the ground, and this one sword sticking straight up. This could definitely have something to do with your goals and your aspirations. Definitely hello. I mean, this whole thing is like deep down identity stuff, right? It's like the stuff that makes you who you are. Why do you do what you do? Why do you think the way you think? Why do you have the mindset that you do? What are the stories? Do you have some unresolved shame? Do you have some unresolved guilt? That is affecting your material world and keeping you in this cycle. And then, like I said, we have the 9 of Swords behind that. 9s at least are completion. It's personal completion, individual, 10s are when it's, complete with the collective or complete with the whole. But the 9 of Swords is traditionally talked about in terms of anxiety, fear, doubt, losing sleep at night. Even just this imagery here of these, whatever these things are called, because of course it's not going to come to my mind, but I just imagine pollution, just with these like billows of smoke coming out of here. It's giving pollution. And what is it in your mind that is polluting your thoughts, your outlook, again, your mindset, your beliefs? And like I was saying about getting grounded and allowing yourself to hear what is beneath all of the noise, right? Even having the High Priestess behind the 9 of Swords. This is your connection to your higher self. This is that calm voice, that secure voice too, because your intuition does not talk in terms of fear. Your intuition is not going to make you feel fearful, doubtful, anxious. It's not going to self-sabotage you. That's all ego stuff. And it's interesting that the two cards that for me represent ego are the two cards that are kind of the more difficult personal type of cards. We're like missing the Eight of Swords, basically. Three of Swords too. Swords in general, shit. But like I said, the High Priestess, that is your intuition. That is, your direct connection to your star player. For me, it's my higher self. It's me. It could also be God, source, divine, spirit, if you believe in a higher power. If not, then it is your connection to your intuition, because everybody has it. Everybody has an intuition. Everybody has an ego. Also, too, like with this third eye here, even just tapping on where your third eye would be, or rubbing circles, going, I just started doing it clockwise. But now I feel like I'm hearing in my head that it's supposed to be counterclockwise. I don't know. That could be something that you Google. Tapping in general, honestly, there's a ton of videos too about, is that EFT, or, just tapping as a form of relieving anxiety. Because it's something to where it's bringing yourself back into your body. That there's that whole saying of, like, if you're living in fear, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living too far in the future. And if you're content, you're living in the present. So yeah, just this is definitely something coming up for you that is not necessarily going to be easy, and has not been easy, but the energy is available for you to work through this, to actually release it so that you can move forward. You can be, more in tune with your truth, with your intuition, even with your strategy and authority. Since we're talking human design, I kind of honestly forgot. But I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.